Hello, beautiful beings. Look at my eyeball necklace. It is so lit up right now. Oh, look, right on Bob's forehead. I'll show you. My oldest daughter gave me this a really long time ago. My mom got me one originally a really, really long time ago, and I had it when my children were small. And my oldest daughter, one of her nicknames is Dothra. She said she looked at it one day and it winked at her. And and this isn't one of those that when you move it closes and opens. It stays open. And I absolutely 100% always believed her. I never ever doubted it. And I lost that along the way. My girls and I call that things lost in the fire, even though there was no fire. Anytime we've ever lost anything in our life, we call it things lost in the fire. And so Dothra bought me one of these years ago, and oh, I have just cherished it. One time, a couple summers ago, I was at a car wash with one of my granddaughters, and I had taken a sweater off, and I was wearing this, and when I got home, all I had was the chain. Oh, I felt absolutely sick. I've had those tests in my life because when I'm incredibly attached to something, I need to be tested and go through the process of letting it go because it's just a material object. So I went back to the car wash, and there was a huge, huge RV parked there. And I told the man what I had lost, and he moved his RV for me. And I looked all over and I couldn't find it. And I just knew it was gone. But I mean, I felt like it was gone. And I called the lady. There wasn't anybody working there at the time, at that moment, but I called the lady and I told her what happened and I described it to her. And she went and looked, and she said that it was teetering. It was just about ready to go down this big drain forever. And she actually gave it back to me. She could have kept it. I would have never known. It was very touching that she gave it back to me. So I actually have it JB welded. I got some JB weld, and I put that on there. So you'd have to try. I would have to try really, really hard to break it off of there, because the part that it's hooked on, this part right here, is completely soldered also. Yeah, it reminds me of a story of a nun that had a really beautiful vase. It was her last possession that she had, and one day one of the other nuns broke it, and she said, "Oh, thank you so much. I was way too attached to that vase." I just saw myself doing that again. I know I do it a lot, and I just asked the ancients, why is that still a habit? It's from I used to have bangs for a really long time, and I used to get them out of my face like that. They're saying, yeah, it makes perfect sense. I had this idea stuck in my head that if I didn't have bangs, I would be like downright ugly. So crazy. Some of the thoughts that I've followed around my whole life, or for a lot of my life, but it's cosmically wonderful, uh, how I can see these things and outgrow them and not ever even have those thoughts again. So I offend people sometimes by speaking my truth. I don't want to. I don't mean to, but being afraid of making somebody angry or offending them by speaking my truth used to keep me from speaking my truth. But it just can't be that way anymore. And one it's very difficult also to speak my truth to somebody that seems very, very nice. And I know that they are very nice. However, when I'm getting a feeling from somebody that makes me feel uncomfortable, I don't want to interact with that person very much at all. Especially, they're saying, if this person came to me and wanted to hold song with me, what would be just a kind of a blanket definition of that, or an example of somebody coming to me and wanting to hold satsang. Here's one. I have a dear friend, I've mentioned her recently, that lost one of her twin daughters recently in the last couple weeks to addiction. We hold satsang. We have always held satsang. I've known her for over 3 years now, and from the very first day that I met her, she has been 100% open to everything that's coming through from the ancients. Information, beautiful information, not unsolicited. I can feel when somebody is open to myself and the ancients and what comes through. I do ask them, or I tell them, because we just started talking and all this information started coming through for her. Not advice. Here, take my advice. I'm not using it. That's completely different from what comes through from the ancients to a person. Absolutely life-giving, they're saying. Our interactions have always been equal and life-giving. Equal in the way of she hasn't been in my life because she has wanted anything from me. My experience with men, and this is not a put down, this has just been my personal experience throughout my life. I have never had one man in my experience just want to be my friend. No exceptions, not one. And I'm not saying I'm, all that or anything like that, but for some reason, certain men are attracted to me, and I can feel that. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. However, when a man comes into my experience and he wants to have conversations and he feels like a spiritual person, and I know that he is a spiritual person, I can also feel when a man is attracted to me and like making comments about, I like your hair when it's long so much better than short. I like women a lot better. I prefer women with long hair instead of short hair. Well, why are you telling me that if you just want to be my friend? Why are you making comments about my physical appearance? I can hear somebody saying, well, why not? Well, that is just another indicator to me that the man that I'm speaking to is attracted to me. And I don't like how it feels because, well, if it's mutual, that is a lot different. If I'm interested in that type of thing, which I'm not interested in that right now. Ancients, please just help me not butcher this. I'm just trying really hard to not hurt this person's feelings because I feel that he told me that he's watching my videos, and I used to talk to this man a lot. For a while. We spoke quite often, and I got the same feeling from him. This need, this, what is it, ancients? What do I feel from certain people? They have some type of need that they think that I could fill for them. And no, I'm not here to fulfill anybody's needs or fill anybody's needs or desires in any way, shape, or form. I can't even be a regular type friend. Moonstar and I have went through some trials over the years because of small talk. I have an incredibly difficult time just talking about the weather or surface things. I can talk about family or things that have happened in our lives. Those are important things, but I can only do it for a few minutes, and I haven't been able to change that about myself. Doozer, I'm recording a video right now. he's doing this, reaching out. I hear you, Ocean. You're the one that did it to you. You made him that way. I know. I know I did. But he also needs to learn that mommy can't be 100% here for you constantly. I just got done literally holding him for an hour, over an hour on my lap. I've been sitting on the couch with him, snuggled in a blanket. I meditated for the first time for 30 minutes. It wasn't my first time meditating, but I've never meditated for 30 minutes. It felt amazing. And my neck and shoulder has been so tight that it's been making me dizzy. And my second daughter, Beauty, she gave me this really cool electric neck massager, and I just did that for about 30 to 40 minutes, and it is feeling so much better. So years ago, and he said that he never did this, but I don't forget anything. I swear that I don't, unless I'm stoned. But even then, I don't forget. I just forget what I'm saying in the moment, but I don't forget. I've always been that way. I'm so observant because I'm tuning in to the person that I'm talking to. I've been that way since I was little. I didn't understand it for an incredibly long time, but I do now. And this person had my picture as his screensaver on his computer at work. I didn't make that up. How could, no, nobody's ever said that to me before, and I felt incredibly uncomfortable. I didn't like it at all. But tonight he told me that he never did that. Well, maybe he forgot. But, and he felt offended by how I expressed myself tonight. Well, it was earlier. He messaged me at like really, 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 really early this morning, and I was just like, ugh, I haven't spoke to this person for years. We talked for about a half an hour last night. I try to override uncomfortable feelings because I want to hold song with people. I'm not going to give up right now, like right away, because I feel like you have an attraction to me. No, if I need to talk to a person to see where they're at, to see if they really want to hold song with me, or if they, I don't know, whatever, it doesn't matter. But that's really all that I'm interested in. I'm not interested in just making friends. I've never had a lot of friends in my life, not ever. I just haven't led that type of life. People just are not attracted to me in the way that they just want to hang out with me for some reason. Oh, a lot of it has to do with being my friend requires growth. It's just the way it is. So a lot of people have dropped out of my life because they're not ready to grow in the way that I feel, well, in the way that I have. And it just automatically comes through when I'm talking to somebody like Moonstar and I, Ocean and I, my daughters and I, when we talk on the phone for an hour and a half, it's not just about nothing. It's about life. It's about growth. It's about what we're overcoming. It's about what we feel stuck in. It's about ascension, basically. So when a man comes into my experience and I catch on pretty quickly that he wants to tell me about this cool stuff that he can do, these cool spiritual experiences that he's had, but I realize that he's not diving deep. He's not doing daily introspective shedding work to enable the divine to prune away what's not really him. I just feel like that person has an agenda, and it feels like a taking energy. It doesn't feel like satsang. This isn't judgment. This is discernment. This is years and years of practice, trusting my intuition at the risk of offending people. And I try not to say it offensively. However, when I do feel an attraction coming from a man, and I'm just like, oh, no, 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 No. And he mentioned, well, we should talk on the phone sometime. Immediately, that made me want to run for the hills because I don't talk to any man on the phone. Someday I will, because there will be men that genuinely want to hold satsang with me, and I will be able to feel that. Sometimes it does get a little tiring. Really? I never use that word. Sussing things out? I'm going to have to look that up. I'm going to write that down so I don't think I'll forget. But sussing. Sussing. I know what it means, but I really want to see what the definition of it is. Yeah, it seems like, geez, can't I just relax and enjoy people? No, I can't because I have spidey senses and I'm here to help humanity. And I'm not here to give my energy away in any way, shape, or form that isn't somehow reciprocated. And the way that it's reciprocated is not by even giving me doozer. Now he's down scratching on the cupboard, because he wants a treat. Doozer, you have to wait, bud. Just his constant, scratching on the thing. Some people call it ADD. It gets my attention, and when he keeps doing it, it keeps getting my attention, and I don't like how that feels. It interrupts my flow. Doozer, hang on one second. Oh, now he's excited. Okay, this is how I do it. This is his last one. I usually hold this wrong when I'm trying to show you Doozer. I'll try to figure it out better. Let me see if I can see him. Hey, bud. Hey, can we see you? Good boy, dance. Good boy. See, I put him in the bag like this, and then he takes one out. Now he's happy. Oh, good boy. Okay, I hope I held that right so you could see it. See, that's all it took. So I hope I'm explaining myself all right. The ancients are saying I'm doing just fine. They're my cheerleaders. They love me unconditionally, of course. My left eye is twitching. That has a lot to do with the third eye activation. Is it not always activated? Does it close sometimes? Because it seems like when I say it's activating, that would mean that it's not activated at times. They're saying that it's at rest, not necessarily closed, but at rest sometimes, because if it was, sure, they're saying that since I'm channeling them right now, and my crown chakra also, there's feels like pressure in the top of my head and pulsing also. That's directly connected to the third eye. I asked them to give me a visual of what's actually happening sometimes, and they showed me the crown chakra opening up, and it's cranking the third eye open in a way. And the third eye enables me to get clear messages to receive clear messages from the ancients, and to be able to see, because they don't speak to me in an audible voice, but I can hear them. And they also send me pictures to communicate with me. It took a lot of years to be able to decipher what they were saying, but as it is with any language they're saying, it just takes practice to be fluent in it. And also they're saying it's our native tongue. Everybody's native language is to be able to hear their guides and guidance. from the divine. Thank you, ancients. So for myself, it is imperative that I don't let these thoughts like, oh, he's harmless. He seems like such a good person, which I'm sure is true. But for myself, any person that feels like they're taking my energy, they need my energy, I can't. I've become intolerant of it. Yay! That's so good. That's really, really good. But it does leave people feeling confused and rejected and even attacked sometimes, even though I'm not yelling at them. I'm just saying I feel uncomfortable. And I didn't tell you this before. Sometimes I override these feelings that aren't for my highest good. That's not for my highest good to override these feelings. But I can't do that anymore, thank goodness. Ancients, why is it so imperative for me? Well, they're saying it always has been, but it just feels more imperative to me now than ever to trust my intuition and speak up on it and protect my energy. These people are not malicious. I mean, some of them are, but this person that I'm specifically talking about is not malicious at all. I can feel that he is a very good person. But there's also a difference between somebody that does introspective work on a daily basis. There's a difference between that and a spiritual person. The persona that is spiritual. A person can learn years and years, a lifetime of information, and that person is very spiritual. But have they done their introspective work? Have they gone through the agony of letting the divine prune away what's not the useless personal conditioned identity that has never been our true self, in order to become a clear open channel for the divine to pour through to others in any way it sees fit? I'm not saying that these people are wrong. Everybody is just where they are. And when people come to me for satsang, sometimes they are just a spiritual person, but there's a burning desire in them to go deeper. And oftentimes that looks like their life is in complete chaos and they're just at the end of themselves. And that, like myself, like I felt 2 days before my remembering experience with Muji, I felt jam-packed in this body. Absolutely jam-packed. No room left at all. And that was the biggest blessing that I've ever had. So the people that come to me are very desperate. And they're ready for their waters to break, and that's what satsang does. That's what myself and the ancients are for, is to help guide them through their rebirth, and then on to another rebirth and another rebirth and another and another and another. And Moonstar used to say, ouch, ouch, ouch. Because we'd see her like climbing up onto cloud 9, and then we'd like shoot an arrow at her, burst the cloud, and before she got too comfortable up there. But one thing that's been so beautiful about our I can call it a friendship, but it's more than that, because she has always been open, no matter how much it hurt. She's been always been open to the growth, the growing pains, and just really grateful for it too, because she said I would have had no idea. I would have just kept going in that direction like I always have for the rest of my life. I had no idea that I was doing these things, and we don't. we just automatically go along with whatever we've been conditioned to go along with. Just the thoughts that come in. It's so easy because it just feels like, oh, that's just how I'm feeling. But no, it's not just how we're thinking or just how. It's not. When a thought comes in, this is a part of the ascension process. When a thought that I have automatically went with basically my whole life, when I finally see that, oh, wait, I'm following a self-defeating thought around. Oh, it's so magnificent. It doesn't mean that poof, oh, it's going to be gone forever. No, it'll keep coming in for a really long time. And that's the shedding process. To stop following that around. There are so many thoughts that I used to think and just automatically go with that would just slay me. I mean, oh, so painful. And I just had no idea how to stop thinking them, how to stop believing them. And now they don't come in at all. It just takes practice. So I don't want to offend anybody, but or make anybody angry or hurt anybody's feelings. However, I can't keep that. I can't let that stop me from trusting my intuition and saying what I need to say. Because if I'm saying it, the ancients are saying it also, and they highly encourage me. If I feel uncomfortable about something, it's and I'm not speaking up about it, I'm not resolving it, then my mind is getting busy. And if my mind is getting busy, that means that I'm not present. I'm not in my natural state of being anymore. And once I speak my truth, I feel better, and my mind is quiet again. When I say my mind is quiet, it doesn't mean there aren't thoughts, but I'm not paying any attention to them anymore. It's effortless. I'm back in my natural state of being in this physical form, as natural as it can be in this physical form. So I will be growing for the rest of my days on the planet. I will live to be 105 years old. My grandmother told me that when I was 5 years old, when she dropped her physical form, she came to me and she told me that. And I know that, and I've always known that, and it makes perfect sense to me. I have a lot left to do. If you would like help trusting your intuition and speaking your truth without reacting, practice, they're saying, we would love to help you with that if we can. saltsongwithmamag@gmail.com. I'm feeling so much more calm these days. It's 2 weeks today, I believe, without marijuana. And today I feel better than I have the whole entire time. I feel a lot more peaceful. One of the symptoms of withdrawals from marijuana for me that has been has actually felt like it made it impossible to quit at times is these major bouts of frustration that come in. Because I know this is probably going to be a little kind of a long video, I don't know, but one of the reasons the frustration comes in, they're saying, is because since I was making myself by smoking feel high, because I'm already high. It's a pristine, beautiful, it's the perfume of presence, they're saying, the perfume of my own natural state of being. And so when I'm smoking marijuana and getting this high feeling, then when I stop doing it, there's a feeling that just being, I don't feel agitated with it, but my persona does. It feels like there's something missing. Something isn't right, and I just feel very, very agitated and super frustrated and super like extra sensitive to everything. That and weight loss are definitely the two most major bummers from quitting, but it always passes, and around the 2 week mark usually is when it does. And I'm really feeling that, and I've really made it a point to keep my shoulders relaxed, go slower, walk slower, talk slower, do everything slower. I've been going incredibly fast lately, just since I quit. Well, before that, they're showing me I was going very, very fast, and so it feels really good to feel relaxed again. Actually, more relaxed than I ever have felt. you empaths out there, I'm sure you can feel this. If you've watched my videos at all, you'll see my progression. Videos from a really long time ago, I used to speak very, very, very quickly, and I've had to practice over the years how to speak more slowly with this much energy coming through, and how not to be overcome by it and overwhelmed by it. All this just takes practice, is all. So, and some guidance. satsongwithmamag@gmail.com. We love you so much. Thank you so much for my new subscriber. Mwah!